You know how much I love to shop, and according to TripAdvisor and some others, I am at the #1 gift shop in Branson. It's called the Copper Coin. Susan is the owner of the Copper Coin, and when you visit the store, she has a great story for you. What led you here, Susan? Would you share your story with us real quick?
The real reason I'm here is I married a fellow who was living in Branson.
Well, that was easy enough, yeah.
Yes, it was.
That was the start,
yes.
Okay.
I came here to retire, actually. I thought life was going to be just simple and wonderful, and we were going to live on the lake. But I did not know that God had a plan for my life that was completely different than anything I ever expected.
What happened?
Shortly after we were here, friends came to us and we opened a little store. They learned the story behind my book, Against All Odds, 2 pennies, a rainbow, and a woman called Mercy. And on top of that, then they learned the story of the penny jewelry I make here in Branson.
What's the significance of that penny to you? The
penny actually says, "In God we trust." It has for over 100 years. It's the motto of the United States of America. But what actually happened, Joy, was that in 2003, I was diagnosed with breast cancer 2 weeks after being laid off from my corporate job. I was a single mom with 3 kids, and then learned after a bilateral mastectomy that the cancer had already metastasized. Doctors told me there was a fast-growing mass on my pancreas. My mother and grandfather had died of the disease in less than 7 weeks. I knew my time was short.
Wow. Okay, so then what happened? You sort of received a message, if you will.
Yes, I did. One day my minister came to the hospital and he said to me, "Susan, what are you praying for?" I said, "I'm praying to live long enough to dance at my son's wedding." He was overseas in the Middle East. And the minister looked at me and he shook his head and he said, "I'm not praying for that." I was so devastated. And then he paused and said, "I'm praying for a miracle and that your eyes be open to one." I didn't believe in miracles. I believed in God. I went to church, but it was a little bit over the top for me to consider a miracle. Shortly after that, I gave my life to the Lord, promised to serve Him all the days of my life. The very next day, I found 2 copper pennies on the ground. As I picked each of them up, I smiled. My mother always said they were pennies from heaven, but when I picked them up, I said, "Lord, I'm just trusting in you. Whatever time I have left, I will serve you." The next day, those 2 copper pennies would become significant. I didn't know it at the time, but the very next day was a rainbow in the midst of a terrible storm. I was on my way to MD Anderson Cancer Center looking for a third opinion. Doctors had given me no hope in Dallas, where I lived at the time. When I got to MD Anderson Cancer Center, my doctors again told me there was nothing they could do. However, they asked me to stay for some testing, and I did some DNA testing. 24 hours later, my doctors walked into the room and told me they couldn't explain it. There was no mass.
So your miracle happened.
Yes, it was a miracle. And so the woman who didn't believe in miracles tells about miracles every day now, because I do believe in miracles now. And I promised to serve the Lord, and those 2 pennies would become my first jewelry.
And that's how we get to talking about jewelry. Okay, so you've set the scene for us, and you obviously love what you do, and it means a lot to you, but it also means a lot to your customers.
Yes.
Tell me what all you have in the store. Beautiful things.
Oh, we have amazing things. We have treasure snap jewelry. It's a special jewelry that we put a penny on. It's actually made in my kitchen. It takes me 5 days to do a penny, make a penny with a glaze on it.
You make all of those?
I make every single one of them. And then I have ladies now who are helping me decorate some of my plaques and items, which is neat because we're employing women in Branson who are in need of jobs, which is kind of neat as well. And it's a way of blessing others. But I do about 5,000 pennies in January, February. I do the glazing just to get us started for the season.
That's remarkable. All right, talk about the snap jewelry, because this is ingenious. Let me just tell you, this may be my new favorite thing.
Okay, the snap jewelry is very popular, especially in Branson. You'll find a lot of it. You'll find that there are women wearing it all around the place, because you can change the look just by taking off the snap. Then I can turn around and change the look completely by just changing the snap. And it's very cost effective. It's just a great little gift items. Our snaps actually start at $2.50 and go up to $12.95.
If you're traveling, think about it. Just take a whole bunch of these in different colors, and you just take maybe one necklace, one pair of earrings, and just snap it out
Exactly.
as the days go along. What else do you have? I noticed you have a lot of inspirational items, which totally fits.
Yes, I have inspirational plaques, crosses that we make. A lot of things are handmade here in Branson and by other folks as well. So that's what really makes it nice and special to Branson. There is no other store in the country, let alone Branson, like this. So, I mean, this is the only penny store I know devoted totally to making penny jewelry, gifts, and inspirational items.
Well, come in and look at the store if you get a chance, because it's so much fun to shop in here. But you can shop online. Yes. If you can't make it down here, how do people do that?
They go to www.thecoppercoin.com. Encourage them to go to The Copper Coin, because the last I looked, Copper Coin actually went to a bar in Washington.
Oh, it did? All right. Well, you will not miss the one in Branson. If you come down here, tell people where you're located also.
Okay, we're located in the Grand Village, where Mel's Hard Luck Diner is, and the Christmas store, many people know.
Oh, yeah.
Sugarleaf Bakery, the Village Peddler, lots of folks here.
Beautiful place to shop, and a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing, Susan, and thank you for inspiring so many people in and around the Ozarks and beyond with your very moving story. We do appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Joy.
Come see Susan at the Copper Coin.